Hello everyone, this is Cansin Ozgur, a proud graduate from Istanbul University, Faculty of Dentistry, and with an oral surgery master's degree from Yeditepe University, Faculty of Dentistry. I've been practicing dentistry with a holistic approach in my private clinic in Istanbul since 2009, and also am heavily involved in lecturing on DSD protocols as a DSD instructor since 2015. First of all, I want to thank Christian Kochman on behalf of all DSD team for creating this unique perspective and sharing his vision with us, so we can spread this vision to the dental world. Without him, predictable results such as today's case that I'll be presenting would be so hard to achieve. Additionally, I'm grateful to DSD app development team for the invitation for this month's presentation. Thank you, Ralph George and team. It is a great pleasure to share this case and my experience with you. I have been applying DSD protocols in my practice since 2012 on a daily basis. Ever since, I'm using these unique procedures of DSD to design my final results, to plan my treatments, to achieve the perfect communication between me and my team, to boost my patient acceptance rates, and apply them as a quality control tool on my cases. The design of a clinic is extremely critical for a smooth practice of DSD protocols. I always kept this in mind while I'm setting my office up. As you are now aware of the criticality of it, the first thing I did in my office was to set up a photo video studio upon my return from my very first DSD course. I'm sure you will do the same once you realize the benefits. I also developed and implemented protocols to guide my clinical team to apply DSD. DSD not only changed how I perform dentistry, but also shaped my patients' reactions to my treatment plans in a very positive way. I believe DSD works. Actually, I know DSD works. That's why I get pleasure teaching this perfect approach of practicing dentistry and expanding the DSD vision. As recent as my last DSD course in Istanbul in May 2019, we still were using presentation programs such as Keynote and PowerPoint in our DSD courses. Yet these programs helped us a lot in the way of teaching and applying DSD protocols, and were useful in presenting our cases or ideas to both patient and our team. However, the design process of these programs were cumbersome. The learning curve of these programs are painful and time-consuming for dentists or staff. DSD app has saved us from this immense learning curve of professional presentation programs. With the development of DSD app, designing our patients' smiles has become easy and effortless. The focus of the participants was mainly on how to use these presentation tools. Now they can focus more on the smile design itself. This new app is also helping the patients envision our ideas and our dreams. In our regular course plan, I always treat a live demo patient in front of our course participants. The magic happens right at the mock-up session in our events. For the first part of the DSD course, generally takes like around 2 days, doctors are exposed to the theoretical part of the DSD. But later, in the second and final part, when they observe my live case, they leave my course fully satisfied with the benefits of DSD. May 2019 course in Istanbul was a first for me, as I designed my live case ahead of the course day. Until then, my aim was to demonstrate any possible issues and the ways to resolve them on the fly while working on the case live. It increased the participants' level of comfort as they saw me tackle the issues as they arise. We also had a technician on the spot producing our wax-up model on the spot by traditional and conventional means and techniques. We wanted to spice things up for the May 2019 course in Istanbul, particularly when it comes to the usage of the new technology. The decision to switch to fully digital approach from taking impressions digitally to the 3D printing of the final result. As you know, humans show resistance to change, even a single small one. I was aware of the possibility of the resistance by the participants to the shift to the fully digital world. However, having the right team you trust and the state-of-the-art tech digital equipment assisted me to prove my case to my colleagues. To be on the safe side, we decided to have the digital impression as well as the design of the end results prior to the event. Dr. Christian Kochman, a great friend and a valuable mentor of mine, invited me to the DSD residency in Miami. While I was there, shortly before my Istanbul course, my team gathered the digital impressions along with the photographs of the live case. As you well know, if you want to get something done right, you have to do it yourself. They missed the most essential part of the DSD documentation, the video. After all, we are in 21st century, aren't we? They sent every individual data except the video via cloud technology. To be more specific, they sent the data using Dropbox. I started to design our live patient smile in Miami before the course for the first time while I was drinking coffee in a local cafe. The intent was to eliminate every risk jeopardizing the success of our course. At the end of the day, this was going to be our first fully digital smile design course. Don't get me wrong, this is the very same approach we have been applying for the last couple of years, but on steroids. But it was first time the intent was to use it in a course setting with a limited time window, feeling the time pressure. With the package, I was sent the frontal full smile picture, frontal retracted picture, profile picture, 12 o'clock picture, and the digital impressions obtained from the patient. At that point, for a brief time, I felt paralyzed by the lack of the video. I had no earthly idea about our patient's smile because the smile is a dynamic moment. Static images cannot truly explain what's going on. As my dear friend Florin Kofar says, we need emotion in motion. If a picture is worth 10,000 words, a video is then millions. Working with the limitations I have, I managed to create a smile design project for our course patient. Our patient had some size discrepancies. Central incisors and lateral incisors were too narrow compared to intercanine width that needed to be corrected. At the same time, I realized that the patient was showing excessive gum, especially in bicuspid areas. Having a digital impression on the DSD app was a blessing because I was able to check every single detail about the gingival area in a matter of seconds. It has always been crucial because if you don't respect biology, your design would go nowhere and cannot be implemented in real life. Thankfully, the design was an implementable project which could turn into a treatment plan. I felt lucky because without physically examining the patient and not seeing her videos, there was no guarantee for the end result. I sent the 2D plan to my digital lab in Turkey for them to turn this project into 3D and print it with a 3D printer. But regardless of my precautions, I was worried about the possible glitches which could happen during my course. In the course's first day,
My first goal is to create fundamental knowledge on smile design concept, the ratios, midline, occlusal plane, smile curve, etc. The attendees are given these fundamentals for creating a confident and healthy smile on the first day. In the afternoon session, we started the hands-on with our iPads using the DSD app. All participants enjoyed the concept of seeing the final result of the trial patient in 2D using the DSD app on their iPads. Regardless of the perfect 2D demo patients, I could feel that they looked for more evidence before committing entirely to digital smile design concept. That expectation could only be nourished by applying the protocol in a live patient that was about to happen on the very next day. Generally, the second day of our courses involved my full demonstration of every single detail about obtaining the proper documentation, which is essential for our smile design process. With the majority of dentists always underestimating the true power of the pictures and videos, them seeing the static and dynamic documentation always has a profound impact on the decision-making process of patients. An excellent presentation filled with images of the patient helps us to strongly increase our patient acceptance rates. It is important to be able to speak the same language with the patients. Using dental terminology with them doesn't help them understand and digest the information presented. Patients want to see the actual reasons of our treatment plans and the projected outcomes. The majority of our colleagues underestimate the true power of documentation. To give you an example, when buying a car, no one is interested in the theory of the internal combustion engine or the process of painting the car. You check how the car looks and test drive to see how it feels before buying. After the arrival of our demo patients to the venue, I started to explain and demonstrate the process of documentation to our participants in digital smile design by demonstrating on a live case. We set up a studio with continuous lighting system in the course venue. I took pictures and videos of our patient again. I want my colleagues who attended my course to witness every single step of DSD process from A to Z. I thought that I was accurate with what I have planned before in Miami when I started the documentation process. Without watching the video or without a proper examination, your design could be only a baseless intent. And all that changes once I have the patient in front of me. I could finally see her smile. Not the picture of her smile, but her genuine, dynamic smile. Thankfully, I was close to my initial plan with small changes. The design looked flawless on the iPad. Seeing different types of morphologies, which have perfect harmony with the face of your patient, with one single click on an iPad, has been our luck as dentists of our generation. Before these digital developments, we only had our imagination and our dental technicians. While the course participants started to leave the room for lunch, my digital lab technicians started to transfer of my design according to my measurements and my teeth choices. Teeth choices matter. The concept of visagism is not a very old concept, but in my experience, it is legit. Supporters of this concept claim that teeth morphology must always be chosen according to the patient's facial and personality types. This ensures a fantastic final harmony. Also, selecting a symmetrical teeth morphology which has a perfect length-width proportion and symmetry makes the final product both breathtaking and natural at the same time. With the release of this concept, we determined how we are going to produce monolithic restorations like a natural dentition. Nearly half an hour later, my dental technician was able to finish the 3D transfer of my 2D smile design. By reducing the 3D model's opacity, I was able to detect the precision of the conversion by comparing 2D design and 3D design. It was flawless, making it time to 3D print the final product. Not far from today, 3D printers will no longer be a luxury, but a must in our practices. We as dentists now can print any model, wax up, guides, splints, dentures with today's devices in-house. With future upgrades to these devices, we will be able to print even ceramics or implants. If you don't keep up, you will not be able to survive in today's market. After printing, it was time to produce a silicone index. The one we made was sitting on the model correctly. My provisional material, my presentation, her index, her 3D model was ready, and it was time to let the magic happen in the mock-up session. Mock-up sessions have always been a true joy of my clinical practice. It has been like a vacation during working hours. Bringing the excitement to the first day has been our goal, because in a regular treatment cycle, the patient can only see the final product in the end. I always think that this is cruel not to allow our patients to test drive our treatment plan. In the end, they will live with the outcome of our treatment. I want to give them the right to be a part of our treatment planning process. Also, it is very beneficial time for us too, as we can easily detect how accurate our treatment is and how it integrates with the face of our patient. If it integrates precisely with the patient's face, we have a piece of art right at the center of the patient's face, and we are the artists. In this mock-up appointment, I rock. So should you. I applied the mock-up with an A2 provisional material to our demo patient. Often our patients don't know what's going on during that period. Neither did she. There was a vast plastic bulk in her mouth, and I'm sure she wasn't comfortable at all. As usual, I started our quick photo-video protocol. I recorded every single detail which could be useful for my presentation to her and my participants. As a rule of thumb, never show your mock-up results to the patient using a mirror. Make your patient see the before-after footage on the big screen. That's why I sent her out with one of my assistants to keep her away while we were preparing the final parts of our presentation. I prepared the side-by-side videos and pictures of her as a before-after layout. I wanted her to feel the same excitement that I felt when she saw the final results on day one. So it was time to call her in. She sat on a chair in front of my 4-meter wide screen, which is like 13 feet-ish for my American friends, and watched her final results. You should see the sparkles in her eyes. As usual, the patient was not expecting as dramatic improvement as I could provide. This presentation, so-called the motivational mock-up, greatly increases the case acceptance rate. After this motivational boost, the treatment plan presentation started with all technical and boring data according to her. What else does she need? She had already seen what she needed to see. This additional information was irrelevant for her. Finally, I had proven the digital smile design concept's usability to every dentist in the course, because they too had the similar sparkles in their eyes. After the final speech, the course was over, and everybody was so excited to return their clinic and apply that concept to their regular clinical workflow, the digital workflow. Ever since I started to implement photography, DSD, digital dentistry to my practice, I witnessed the power and influence of them both on the quality of my work and my patients' perception of dentistry. I feel that they all have the same passion for dentistry as I do. In my opinion, dentists who don't change and evolve in the way of this new era of digital dentistry will be extinct. I want to thank you all for watching my presentation and thank the DSD team and DSD app team for helping me share my passion for dentistry with you.